Hey everyone, my name is the Retroden, and today we're diving and taking a look into the brand new Metal Slug game, which for some reason was developed by Tencent, which is also not strange since years ago there was a freak out about how they basically owned half the gaming industry. Now, this one has a lot of interesting elements to it, so let's get right into it. Right off the bat in the first level, the game actually impressed me with some really cool cutscenes and music. The graphics weren't too bad either, since they actually managed to capture the real classic Metal Slug vibe, even though it made a huge switch from pixel art to full-on 3D graphics. Right from the beginning, the game gives you options for different control types and makes you go through a basic first level that features a decent final boss fight for an intro level. You get another fancy cutscene to transition to the second level, but let me tell you, it didn't take long for things to get interesting, to say the least. And by interesting I mean medically interesting, since halfway through the second level I realized the music was borderline destroying my ears. I mean, seriously, it was way louder than it ever should be for some reason unbeknownst to me. After finishing the second level I noticed something was really off. In the hub area that you get in between levels with this truck, I stumbled upon a gacha-like menu for unlocking characters. Right after that, I found out the game has an energy system with absurdly priced top-up options, which was expected since the game at this point isn't trying to mask the fact that it is basically a gacha or a mobile game, to be honest. This is absolutely not acceptable for what should have been a straightforward arcade game priced around 20 to 30 euros. But for now, moving on to the third level. The third level itself was basic, but had a cool final boss fight that actually required some dodging and quick reflexes. Beating the next boss, which was quite easy, introduced another gacha system for loot and weapons, in which the game prompts you to dig with golden pickaxes you get just by playing the levels in order to unlock better weapons and level up your character's power, which you need to do if you don't want to get power gated from future levels in something like a system that was ripped straight out of Lost Ark. Along comes the fourth mission, which ends with another boss that was quite cool, but at this point the moment-to-moment gameplay was getting quite stale, since I knew they were going to introduce me to another messed up mechanic right after the level ended. At the end of the level, the game introduced me to two more systems. One that rewards you with more gacha pools for killing multiple bosses, and a weapon upgrade system that was also ripped out, but this time straight out of Genshin Impact, which left me completely baffled. So you have a Metal Slug game in which you use tokens to level up the damage from your AK-47 and other weapons. One thing that has to be mentioned is the corny dialogue voice lines that they put into the game. I mean, seriously, they're not bad, but please judge this for yourself and tell me it doesn't sound like an edgy 16-year-old recorded them.
Bro, why didn't you at that guy?
Father, calm down. He's an outlander and does.
Quiet. Bro, chill. I'm Major Marco Rossi of the regular army. How may I help you?
They also shoehorned some lore into the game, which was predictable since a lot of gachas nowadays tend to go hard on the lore to try and keep players engaged and coming back for more bits of the story every time. I go through another similar level, now on a different tile set, with another generic tank boss at the end. Right after that, the game once again prompts me to dig or pull for another weapon, which gave me an advanced bazooka and pushed me into talking to Theo to unlock her as a character. Unlocking a character features a full Overwatch-like animation, which is leagues above every system in this game when it comes to development, which definitely reinforces the idea that this game is over the top when it comes to its promotion just to look like a mobile game. After unlocking the character, I also got prompted to share my feed to get some premium currency, which I found very awkward because when I clicked it, it didn't even redirect me or try to redirect me to any social media, so I didn't do it. The next level had you play with the two characters you now owned and actually introduced a cool mechanic that had you switching between them to apply different debuffs to enemies. This level was admittedly better than the ones beforehand, but that was really the only thing that changed. A nice change for once that made the final fights of this level a tad bit more engaging, therefore a little bit more enjoyable, but nothing that was too different from the rest of what was played until now. After this level you got prompted to play a flashback level in which it was a rail shooter or a non-rail shooter level that I'm guessing was a reference to older Metal Slug games, but I can't really tell you if that was the case or not. Nevertheless, the level was nothing that special. As this level ended, I decided that this would actually be where I would end the video, since I was already expecting this loop to go on and me getting progressively mad as the game introduced more gacha or dumb mechanics at the end of each level, and I didn't want this to turn into a full-on rant video. My overall first impressions of the game are that it has a lot of potential, but it got the live service treatment and ended up being another cash grab at the end of the day. Despite it being free to play on Steam and me not even reaching the part where it most definitely becomes pay to progress. And if you want to test that for yourself, just make sure to grab the game yourself for free and try to get to the end of it without it becoming pay to win eventually. If you're a Metal Slug fan, you might want to try it out, but if you really want to enjoy Metal Slug, I recommend just emulating older versions or grabbing one of the emulated versions on Steam during a discount, even though those really aren't that good when it comes to the ports, but they are still better than playing a Metal Slug gacha game. If you want me to make a follow-up video on this new Metal Slug game and force me to play it more, let me know in the comments, I will read them all, as always. And remember, don't get fooled by these gacha games and don't spend money or something that shouldn't be free. And I hope you enjoyed this video, but other than that, this has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.